Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Sarsky, and I'm one of the consultants with the CART Consortia. And it's my pleasure today to step you through the curriculum comparison document for kindergarten. This is the second document in a series of 3 that we are going to be showing you, and you should have already gone through the numbered outcome presentation. If you haven't, I would suggest you simply pause this one and go back and do that one first, as it will make more sense to do them in order and to understand better how these documents were linked together. So the curriculum comparison document was presented or created in such a way that teachers would in kindergarten be able to look at, what am I currently doing? Like, what are the outcomes I'm very familiar with? And how will those translate into the new curriculum? So we moved from existing understandings, in other words, what you're teaching now, you're completely familiar with, no inside out, to where does that go to something new? So in the document itself, you're going to see a bunch of colors, you're going to see a bunch of numbers. So I'm going to unpack each of those pieces for you. I'm going to highlight a few of the pages, and then I'm going to give you a link at the end of the session that you can click on and download your whole copy of the curriculum document and then take some time to go through it. So at the top, just as a quick reminder, the K in front stands for kindergarten. The next letter represents one of the organizing ideas. And then we have the numbered outcome in each of those organizing ideas, in this case, outcome number 1. And the point 2 means that there were 2 rows or more of understandings that were attached to those outcomes. So let's remember that the learner outcomes have a number of different components that fall below them. So looking a little bit differently than our last curriculum document, where we had some of those learner outcomes were broken down into sub-bullets. There are no sub-bullets. So you're seeing them as understandings, and they all connect to one learner outcome. And that could make for a number of different rows below each of the learner outcome. And that's why we have the decimal behind it. It just breaks up each of those rows into its own identity, still the same learner outcome, but just how you can sort of unpack them and talk about it in PLCs a little bit more comfortably. So at the top, you see that we have sort of a legend, N for numbers. It's a reddish pink color, P for patterns, M for measurement, T for time, and G for geometry. And those are the new ideas, not strands anymore. We don't have those in math. We have ideas now that are going to be found in the kindergarten curriculum. And so when we unpacked your existing outcomes, which you'll find on the left-hand column, these are all the things that you're doing right now. They are just cut and paste directly from your existing curriculum. So outcome number 1, specific outcome number 2, and so on. And in some cases, you see them merged together because those outcomes 3 and 4 actually fit together in some of the understandings that we were doing. The next piece that you should know is that we use the learner understanding to first try to match the existing learner outcome that you're working from to how that fit. We found that the learner understanding, in this case, in the new curriculum, was sometimes a better match to the wording and to the things that you were doing in your existing learner outcomes than just the one-line learner outcome was. And so that's why we have it sitting right beside it, as opposed to sort of in the middle that you would find it in the curriculum document, just to unpack why that exists the way it does. And so what you will see then is your existing outcome. You'll see a matching understanding. And then you'll see the actual numbered learner outcome that fits with that. And in this case, it'll even tell you what row it is. So it's the first outcome, it's in the second row, and it's actually the A of a number of different understandings that were listed there. The knowledge, skills, and procedures that you found with that particular learning outcome are still listed here as well. So you can still see all of those components from your curriculum document. You won't see these in numerical order because we were matching them to the existing order of your outcomes. So we went from existing to new. So these may be out of order depending on how they fit with your existing one. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. You're seeing the color coding because the color coding will also tell you when you're moving to a new idea. For example, on one of the pages below number, we see this color here. So shape and space has now been pulled apart and it's just called measurement. There are different components to shape and space now. Measurement was one of them, but we have other components of that. And so measurement is sort of this purplish red color. And again, you see, what did I teach that fit in that in shape and space? It fit these number of understandings. And these are the learner outcomes that I'm seeing, what rows they are. For example, I have one row of understandings, second row of understandings. And whenever you see something that's highlighted in yellow, that is new to your curriculum. So if some of the wording was new, but the intent was really the same as what you've done in the existing learner outcome, we didn't highlight all the new wording because the intent is the same. But what we did highlight is when something was completely new to your grade. And that's what you will see both in the first slide, there weren't any new ones, but in the second slide, you see that not enough, enough, how much flat space is covered by an object. That is new to your curriculum. So you're embedding that piece into your existing learner outcome. So here you see we've changed color, we've moved to geometry. So geometry was G, and so everything that starts with geometry is a KG, kindergarten geometry. Again, you see that a number of outcomes from different areas have fit together to fit into this particular understanding for geometry. And you also see that we've highlighted some of the new pieces that go along with that within this. And so here's patterns. So this is why the color coding is important. And it's going to be even more important when we move into the third curriculum document, which will be your sort of year at a glance that we just provided as a sample, but it's completely color coded based on this. So what I would do now is I would take the opportunity to click this link on, download the entire document for yourself in color, obviously would be helpful, and go through it. Look at what your existing learner outcomes are that you're familiar with and see how that translates now into your new curriculum. If by chance you were to hit a learner outcome in your current curriculum that has a blank right across it on the right-hand side, it means that that outcome no longer exists, or maybe it got moved somewhere else. If you have any questions at all, if you're watching this outside of Zone 4, please connect with your ARPDC rep and they will be able to help clarify any questions that you have or take you further through. If you are working from Zone 4, then we'll ask you to connect with us and we will certainly help you out as we go through that document. Thanks, everyone. I hope that helps clarify the curriculum comparison document for you.